Hey everyone, and welcome to another Siege and Sandfox live stream. I'm the designer on the project, Chris Wilson, and as usual, joining me is Aidan Howe, our producer. So we'll jump straight into it this time. Hello.
Okay.
Let's go. So, just for everyone's benefit, let's get this fired up. There we go. So, I think we shared it off at the end of the last stream, didn't we? We've got a bit of audio in. I won't sort of get on about it too much, but so last time we had the sort of background drones, right?
We did.
And now we've got a few bits of foley. Let me just find it. So you got this, and I think it was Keith, wasn't it? Immediately, who was voiced his opinions about that.
Too campfirey, so
yeah.
Those aren't staying. but yeah, there'll be replacement ones that are a bit more oily, I guess, oil fiery. So yeah.
But hey, you know, it's all a work in progress, because you know, getting any sounds in at all has told us a lot. Like for example, you know, if the sound should be camera relative, spoiler, they should be. And also we've got a lot of problems, haven't we? Because they're still like you know, they're in 3D space, so there's weird stuff going on, I think, right?
We do, yeah, because we're using it's just a placement thing, I think, for now, or at least we're doing this first pass to get the results that we want. But yeah, due to the way that 3D sounds are set up, they have assumptions about surfaces.
Because I'm just thinking that, like, go on.
Well, in an orthographic camera where we flattened everything, it's similar to how we do our lights, that everything has to be kind of placed above the world to make sure that they're actually affecting things. So that becomes somewhat problematic with volumes of sounds.
And so
you don't really want to do that.
And the other thing as well is Ed was just saying that we need to be brave with the sound radius as well, but I get the feeling it's more complicated than that, or maybe it's not. I mean, like for example, now where I am, I would expect to hear it, but is that more our 3D positional issues, or is it just actually is it still character relative at the moment? Is that part of the problem?
No, I don't think so. I don't know. That will be the ranges on those. The ranges on those are quite tight right now.
Okay, well, we're figuring it out.
The reason why they haven't been expanded out is because they don't occlude properly. So
I see.
So yeah, right. You'll see with a larger foley example coming up.
I see. Sorry, Brendan's here as well, and he said he tends to start more conservative, but he's happy to exaggerate things. And at the moment, it is cam relative. So I guess, yeah, again, we're feeling it out, but it's just things where it's like if I do, okay, yeah, I can hear it if I do that, but I guess the ranges are quite conservative. And as you say, if it's not occluding, you know, through there,
well, yeah, that's the problem that we've got is that.
Oh, okay. Yes.
It's not blocking because these are one. They're not one dimensional. That's ridiculous. They're two dimensional. Yes. They don't block anything in that direction.
I mean, it's like I'm playing a video game.
There we go. Yeah, sound just goes straight through them.
Yeah, it doesn't care. So
except for that one at the back, it really cares about that one at the back. So if they get placed anywhere into the scene, we get funny behaviors that aren't as you would expect. So we probably just need to write something. Well, we not necessarily write something, but control. We may just not use 3D sound. Actually, we may do something slightly different for how we poll the environment for sounds and what's placed where. But anyway, we're doing it the more traditional way for first pass, so we can at least get the result that we want.
Yeah, totally.
And then we'll take it back to the recent work that we've done with getting algorithms that understand the space, and maybe using that data to occlude and do processing that attenuates and filters and adds or removes reverbs, etc.
Yeah, so Brent's also saying that triggering keeps getting blocked by art on the Z-axis, so tweaks needed to find a consistent solution, which is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, hey, we'll muddle along as we go on. So I've stopped here because one of the things I got Ed to do this week was just do a pass over all of the tutorial ghost things. Some of you may remember we had this fun thing where a lot of them are upside down, and I found out that actually just a little mistake someone had made, like it was being flipped in all directions basically, rather than just in, oh no, I'm going to make a mistake. I think it's X we wanted them flipped in. But anyway, so that's all fixed, and I can see that Ed has changed the material so they don't look like ghosts anymore, which It's funny, actually. I was going to ask him about that because now, like, it doesn't look the same as the last known position, which is good, but maybe it's a little too bright. But we're probably going to redo these completely later. These are definitely more than good enough.
I think it's where it's washing out for transparency. It just feels a little bit too colourful in comparison to the main player character. I don't mind it so much, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not offended.
First time I saw it, I was like, "Oh, that's too colourful," but then I saw it do it a few times, and my eye adjusted, and I imagine fresh eyes probably wouldn't see it that way. So, but hey, it's good enough.
Oh, yes. Until we get some of the other features we want, which is post playtest, then
I think maybe it blinking more slowly might be a. If that's easy to control. I don't think it is, though.
I mean, I will say this is something that I made that is a mess that still exists.
Just on the edge of too rapid for me. I mean, that's really fine distinctions, though. I just find that blinking slightly annoying at that frequency.
And the other thing is, I saw that Joe put it in a while ago, but it is blocked out by the player. You can see like he's done on it, but this needs to be a bit bigger. Again, like there are more robust solutions to that, but as we're hoping to completely redo this system, then not right now.
Yeah, good enough is good enough, particularly for telegraphing for a user experience demo. So yes, no need to chase that too much.
Yeah, they all seem about fine. As I said to Ed, like we've got some settings to tune them to say like how long you need to wait in the initial trigger before it appears. So that's to catch situations like if it's the first time, we probably want it to appear straight away like this one does. But if it's one where we kind of hope that you already know, but just to catch you if you get stuck, we have an initial delay on it. Apparently there's some issues with that. Issues with my blueprints, never. So I'm going to look at it, but to be honest, when I messed around with it, they're mostly fine. I think I know the situations Ed was getting into. I think if you exit and enter the volumes in a certain way, it will kind of never turn off. But it's about right.
Again, there's a level of finesse that's not necessary.
Yes, exactly. That's the thing as well. Because, like, for example, with this one, I'm like, this is doing what it needs to do, but it's kind of a shame that we're starting only a little bit, obviously, to obscure the lovely detail. But again, it's functional, it works, and we know we're going to change the effect.
So this is an example of where you can...
Of course, I forgot there's a waterfall.
See or hear foley or a lot more efforts involved than should in terms of placing an emitter in an environment like this to get a triggered waterfall, heavy water sound to occlude in all directions around here. So if you pan the camera up, it can be heard through. Now you can't actually see it, but up there, you'll see how it behaves when you go over to the switch and that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's not. We can do a lot more, and that's the frustrating thing, is that all the components are there. It's just the way that we're understanding the space isn't right by default. So we need to find another way of doing it.
If you guys think it's too quiet, sorry, some of the people are saying that the game audio is a bit too quiet. I can give it a nudge. I do not have very sophisticated controls, so it's everyone's favorite tool, the Windows Mixer. I'll just give it a little nudge because I worry about this thing. It's dangerous. Okay, hang on. Someone has just said something that is actually large enough that I need to resize my tiny chat window. Come on, you. There we go. Okay, so Rafs159 says, the art of your game is just perfect. Oh, thank you. Because I didn't do it, I can accept thanks on their behalf. It's inspiring for me in my game, and for sure I'll show a lot your game here in Brazil. How did you do that? The way the sprite changes colour in different lights. Yes. So this is how do you do that? The way the sprite changes colour in different lights. Is that material or actually the lights working in the sprite? I'm ready to be corrected by our artist, but it's actually both. So we do have like real lighting, as in the standard sort of Unreal lighting, but also for the specific torch lights, I think just those. I'm not sure if it's everything. We also have.
Can you pop back to editor? Because you might as well.
I can pop back to editor. Let's have a look in the oldie editor. So they're mostly just. Oh, of course, it's all locked. Could try and unlock them. Doing it live. Where am I here? This is boop. No, are they not there? Which one are they in?
Unlock them all, Chris. Go on.
How do you unlock them all? Because I don't need to...
Right click, unlock, and push the button. Oh yeah, lock. There we go.
Oh my god, wow, you shouldn't have this much power.
Yeah. From the hip, Chris.
So there you go. Keith, he's in the chat as well. He said both, but hey, we're here, so we'll have a look. So most of them, as you can see, well, I don't know if it's most, but a lot of them are just pretty standard Unreal lights, and you can see they are, literally lighting the environment. These things, the torches, they have... We should be able to just jump in here, and we will quickly get beyond what the hell I'm talking about, but let's come here, you. So if you look in here, there's an actual light source, but also... Now, I'll be honest, I don't remember which. There's a couple of collision spheres in here, but one of those does actually trigger something on the player character that looks that refers to a lookup table. So I will jump back into the game now. Keith saying, remember what I said about the blueprint in here, Chris? Keith, I don't remember. I just remember, don't show people it, because you made it. But that's the general gist of how it works. So if we look at this one, correct me if I'm wrong, Keith, they still do it. I know, it was just that. Okay, so here's a good example. So again, we try and blend it, but there is actually, the character does actually change lookup table, and it's the lighting as well. So you can see you have both. Is it the same radius as that outer circle, Keith? Or I can't remember if it is. Anyway, I'll keep going because there'll be a few more. But yes, that's the general gist of that. On that, actually, if you want to know more about it, we're definitely going to be doing a stream covering that stuff specifically.
I was just about to say, very detailed stream about just getting started with Unreal tools for doing this kind of stuff in the very near future.
Okay, so again, same with this guy. Yeah, it's funny, I must admit, obviously partially by playing it every day and partially kind of deliberately as being a designer, I don't really notice these things anymore. So it's actually nice to have someone notice them. I'm sure Keith's very happy too. Okay, so yes, we're talking about the waterfall and the sound occlusion. So yeah, we know we've got to do some stuff there. Something we're going to show off a bit later actually might sort of present some opportunities to gather the kind of data we're looking for. But for now, because we're using 3D sounds and our game is mostly not 3D, yeah, there are there are issues. So let's get up here. God, I can't wait until our player controller is fixed. How's that going, by the way?
It exists.
Yeah, I've seen it a little bit. It's still not quite ready to be shown here, but it's coming on.
It jumps, it mantles, it runs, it walks, it skids. It doesn't do all of the transition animations for those states just yet. It doesn't do useful things like wall jumps and stuff, but it's pretty close to being functional for everything that we need, other than me going, whoops, pulse wings are back.
Yeah, so here's an example of my system not working. That one doesn't disappear. I will look at it later. I think
all the context-sensitive stuff needs a pass anyway, once we're done in player controller town.
I mean, I know Joe is quite keeps asking about that in a good way. One of my point of interest disappeared here, but it's okay. I think someone just overwrote my changes, but oh no. Oh my god, what happened there?
And it was never seen again.
Yeah, well, that's the game, folks. It's permadeath, and I'm never allowed to open it again. Okay, let's just, in the interests of time. Can I do this? Oh no, I can't. I love that Joe left that teleporter there. I'm not even mad.
What's the wibbly purple thing about? Seems different from the rest of the world, Chris.
Nah. It's one of Joe's debug teleporters, and he actually put it there when he was testing if things would show up on the map, like his custom map icons. And then he thought it was kind of funny, and he left it, and I kind of agreed. I know it's there, obviously, so it's on my list to kill, but
just a reminder, a stern reminder in the sky.
Okay, so yes,
TP through.
It's fine. Okay. Oh yeah, can turn his debug off.
Couldn't you just have walked to the right and teleported through the wall? You totally could have.
Oh yeah, well okay, I don't think that way, but I should.
Next time.
Next time. Oh, there's some cool drips here. Just gonna pause a second.
Drips again were controversial. So well, no, they weren't controversial. Keith didn't like them, I think. And Brendan doesn't like him either. So
are they again? Me being the boring functional man, are they actually hooked up to the actual drip particles, or are they just happening?
I don't know.
Okay, I'm just curious. Doesn't matter for now. Oops.
They if they're not, there will be, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're just on a random trigger. Oh, it thinks you're still on that platform on the right. Have you jumped? Just jump. It's okay. Everything's fine.
Nothing happened.
You left your particles behind. You left your landing particles behind.
It happens to the best of us.
Smell the stagnant water and mold.
Fine, you control that. Everything will be just fine. Third time's a charm, Chris.
That's not bad going, I reckon, if that's true.
I agree.
I should point out as well, I see Keith has softened the sound rings. It's better, but I think I'm not gonna worry about them too much until
I hate them far less than I did.
Yes.
Even to the point where maybe I don't hate them anymore, but they're still not right. We need something that serves both masters of looking good and not making my eyes bleed, and those are a bit too subtle. Oh no, too much, but now too subtle.
Yeah.
If only there was some firm direction.
Oh, hey,
no, I think we need another effect for those. I think we need to have a more involved think about how that displays itself. But yeah, we talked about that last week, so I'll shut up.
That's cool. Oh no,
you're behind the grate.
No, I'm fine. It's fine. It's all fine. Okay. Oh hey. Yep. So this works a bit better now. Again, still placeholder, but things have improved. One, he actually stops and pauses for a while and thinks about it. Obviously, it still needs the animation, but it's better. And those lights are now at the correct depth they're supposed to be at, and he just knows to not care about depth because there is no depth for him. And also in AI Town, the other differences as well here that when he gets to the end of the patrol, rather than me having to put a massive wait time or asking Joe to add an infinite wait time, I think in this instance Joe was right, and he said, I think what you want to do here is tell him, well, you're not patrolling anymore, and just kick him off. So that's what happens. He gets there and he goes, I'm just going to stare at this forever, which until we add more default idle behaviors is actually the correct
we can give him something to do there. As long as we have some kind of interesting thing for him to interact with there forever, we get to do this training patrol that doesn't actually patrol. That's how the first one has to be.
Yes. I think that will be fine. Okay, so this is all fine now. I think I can't remember if this was fixed in the previous one or not. It's been such a long time. But anyway, the important thing is it works great. I
think it was, but it wasn't as re-arted.
Yes,
it
it.
Hadn't settled itself back in to what it once was.
Disgusting art. So this is the same, and these have been fixed, I think, haven't they? I think they've been moved, so you can't. I mean, I'm not an expert at breaking it. I should be, but
yeah.
So yes, previously, these were they were out here or something, so you could get up and hop over that, which is not what we want, because we want you to come around here and check out this. And then so again, more tutorial go stuff. Again, I think this one's got a delay on it, so we hope that you might realize already that you can do this, and if you do, we won't bore you. Oops. Okay. And oh my god, this is probably the first time I've been here where I haven't been behind the pillars purely by chance.
Well, there's one left.
Yeah.
Great.
So as we said, we're soon getting a new player controller. The current one, we have lots of issues with depth, where the player character is moving in and out. Come on. Oh no. Oh my god, no. That's never happened before. Thanks, Joe. Save my bacon. Okay. And the funny, I have to ask, is this lift meant to be here?
No.
Now? Yeah.
No, it's not.
It's fine.
It hasn't been stowed away in its new
It's fine.
place.
It's funny because I didn't notice it the first time, and yeah, I went on the trip.
Actually dovetails beautifully into a question we got from YouTube. which was about the lifts, because they weren't in. I don't think they were in their proper corridor. And when we demonstrated them, maybe they looked a little bit jank. But the question was whether they ran on rails or something. They're just floating, and yeah, they totally were. We just bunged them there for functionality, but now we've got the backdrop pieces in.
Nice.
See how they're set
on
off.
rails.
Why not? Live dangerously.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
All makes sense. That's how I expect lifts to behave.
I certainly do. Oh no, are they not ledges anymore? Oh, they are. I just missed it.
Yep.
Trying to show off. I shouldn't do that. Good general advice. Okay, so this is fine. And this still works again functionally. We don't have a dude carrying a lit torch, or do we?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we should probably try to get one of those.
Yeah, they're just all gang guards right now because of copy pastes. But we should probably actually go through and give a selection, a bit of guard variety.
So not too much has changed here because Joe is still working on.
Beware. There are strange creatures in the tunnels, said the woman.
Joe's still working on the map reveal over time.
Yep.
Get your cursor out of my face. Oh yeah. Well, sorry. The cursor is now out of your face. Yes. So that hasn't changed, but it's coming soon, so that you'll only be able to see what you're actually supposed to be able to see. Because oh my god, spoilers! You don't know what this looks like. Right. I always find this bit a bit awkward, but I don't know. Like I either always hit my head on it, or I don't know. It always feels a bit strange, but again, it's not the end of the world.
We can maybe make it a little bit more forgiving by giving up on some curvy cave shapes there.
It is very curvy.
It seems that we always end up with a dog leg like that somewhere, because it used to be at the top of this bit before we got to Harris.
Yes.
But hey.
Right, so I guess I should point out, just in case it's not obvious, these purple blocks mean a thing goes here that isn't here. That's normally what they mean. So what is going on here?
Those aren't connected up. Smash it, nothing will happen. So
every time I try to smash it, I can't even smash it. So
maybe you can't when they're not hooked up.
Wait,
how about that? But they've got interesting new colours.
Yes, I need to catch up about that. It's better.
Yeah, Keith decided to stop worrying and love ribbon effects. Because you remember how years ago, maybe not years ago, but possibly years ago, there was Smokegate, and
yes.
I argued strongly and successfully against the use of ribbon particle effects on smoke because it didn't really fit, and we went with more pixely and little bespoke puffs of pixel smoke.
Yes.
But ribbon effects are back because we kind of get away with them here. They totally break our rules with pixels and stuff, but I don't see it. Yeah, so I think we get away with them.
Yeah, it's interesting. We'll just have to see how it reads to people who don't know the answer, obviously. Right, so for now, I will
TP through. It's been the forever task on my list of just get all of those switches and vases and everything placed and hooked up.
So can I do anything here, or is it still?
These, yeah, we should talk about Keith's SketchUp.
Oh yes, I should have. This is something actually.
Spook him.
No, this is brilliant.
You now?
No, this is amazing. This is something we need to speak to Joe about, or we need to work out. He really wants to light these, like more than life itself.
Okay. Oh, good.
I think
he's done it.
Yeah, see, he's happy now. I think he gets quite excited. I think he turned. I think maybe I set him off and then he turned or something, and then he goes, oh, an unlit torch.
But wait, my work here is not done.
Yeah. So.
AI and priorities. I mean,
yes.
Some of the games I worked on where they love trees because they love them for cover. So you just get like 3 dudes all gathering around a tree. They had these really harsh detection ranges for whether they should go prone or not. So you would walk up to them and they would be lying down and they would stand up, and then you would step back just one step and they'd lie down again, and you could just kind of hokey cokey in and out getting them to stand up and lie down.
I should just point out, sorry, Keith has just pointed out something quite important, that where is this vase? Is there another one here? Oh, you can't really see it very well. If I just pop back to the other one quickly. Like a whole new game in itself.
You're dead.
It's fine for now, it doesn't matter. So this effect, the ribbon effect, because it's going to be a dynamic effect, you know, we don't know quite how fast it needs to go and where it needs to go around in the future. Yeah, you can't do that as a, you know, proper hand-drawn, handcrafted, chiseled pixel effect, which is true. How do I get out of this state? The only safe way is not to play, because if I press anything else, it'd crash. So I will do everyone's.
So that's what I was doing. At the top of there, we've got stuff. So I'm going to share some stuff with you.
Oh, yes, of course. Share away.
Today, when I can find it.
Let me just hop over there as well.
Where is it? There it is.
Boop.
There's a few versions of this, but I'll just give you the most recent one because it's the one
Okay.
that matters. Proceed with sharing because who cares? And where are you, Chris?
Careful, you're sharing
Okay,
top secret
you are.
documents.
Gotcha.
Right. Clicking. Pow. So hang on, let me just check if we're looking at the same thing. Yes, we're looking at the same thing. The stick men are back. I love
The
these
stick men are right here. They've got their fisticuffs up. So that's one thing is I'll probably release that reaching through the door task. I don't know whether that's something we'll actually see next week, but we might be able to get animations, and I sort of want it. So
yeah, if we
might as well
can,
have
it doesn't, you know, functionally we get what we want either way.
So yeah, how this works is pretty much how it works right now, where you arrive in the bottom right corner and you pop up through that gap onto that platform, and then you got pulse wings. So
yeah.
So yeah, you go in pulse wing.
So I should point out to anyone who's watching that the pulse wing, yeah, it's just been one of those things. It's always something we've tried to throw in at the end of demos, or you know, it's always just been a and then feature, and that's led to it being like quite, shall we say, a bit ropey. A lot of issues. We know we have to fix them eventually, obviously. So it's just funny whenever we bring them back. It's like, oh god,
Yeah,
pulse wings again.
and we need to teach them here. So we at least, if we need to remove them just to make the demo play, if they end up being a bit tricky to get them sorted in the next week, then we can. It's quite easy to retool this area. That's another neat thing about it. You got that big block in the middle that can just be
make it a bit
extended out to where the pulse wings are, and you can just use regular wall jumps.
So let's see. So you'd hop over here, do this, hop over here, hop onto there.
Yep.
And then what? You grab this ledge.
Let me just watch your mouse. Yeah, so you're jumping onto that ledge, you're doing a pulse swing, you're popping off that wall onto the next pulse swing.
Mm-hmm.
You're not supposed to grab that. It's the left one that you're supposed to be grabbing there. So
okay.
maybe we could change it to remove that. But if you did grab that one, you would just crawl up into that space and go, I can't go anywhere. Mantle down, jump back onto the pole and go the other way. It's not a huge hardship. But we could make it so that there isn't even the possibility of going right there. That's not a big deal.
Let me think.
It does prepare you for what you have to do next, though, if you mess up that way, which is mantle down to jump onto the next pole swing. I mean, that's the neat thing with Keith replacing my triangle of poles here, is that you can get to all the floors this way. So
right,
it's a really neat, simple piece of
I love
design repertoire to be able to go up and down and left and right.
Again, I'm definitely only one of those people that can comment on them finally when I actually play it, but I don't think that's too bad. I mean, the thing is, I think that's definitely what people are most likely to do, purely because that's the way you'll be facing, right? Because you'll jump and you'll grab it and you'll be facing it. So I think a lot of people will do that, but then the fact it's pretty minor to do it again is not. Yeah, so we'll see, but I'm not mortally wounded by that. And then so this is basically the same, right? You've got the two guys here that are trying desperately to either get out here or into the next room, which we're going to have a quick look at. And you just have to get it's an up and over, basically.
Yeah, so Keith couldn't sell my 2 floors in here, so we just cut it down to, well, ground floor, higher floor, and rafters. And when he laid out the challenge, it didn't need it, so he just killed it. So you're just getting up into the rafters there. It's a nice, easy thing. It's not a death drop, and we've just got all of those sweeties in there that says
Mhm.
the placement of the AI is going to be important for the player dropping and generating a sound ring that's always going to alert them. But if
Mhm.
it's heavy fall height, which it should be,
Mhm.
or it can be easily changed to be that, then
Yes.
it's a good lesson learned for people to drop into there and have it go, oh, look, you alerted all these people. If only you'd used the ladder this one time. And then we're
Yeah,
probably never going
no,
to force you
that's
to
true.
use ladders again unless you
Right.
being
Oh,
Captain
no.
Stealth.
Let
But I think
it
you
out.
could still drop into there, panic yourself, run and smash a vase without too much. That's the experience I want most people to have in that room. Is I
Mhm.
want them to panic themselves and smash that vase under pressure. And the super cool cats will do it the laborious way and do all of the jumps, and they'll use the ladder and they won't make any noise, and
Mhm.
it'll work. So
Aha, sucker. Oh no.
yeah,
There we go. Because I need
get
to.
out of the way.
Am I going to be able to trigger the volume? Maybe not. I don't know if I can do it anymore.
Oh, what, the camera trigger?
Yeah. Because I don't think I can start outside of it and get into it. Where does it end?
I think we put it on a button, Chris.
It is on a button, but I think the button stopped working. It's on a button too. I'll have a quick look, see if I can get out and back in. But I don't think I can. Oh my god, what's this mess?
All of these strange places people have never seen.
Oh.
Interesting characters getting drunk and gambling. What could it mean?
We just don't know. That's the equivalent of like walking into a bar and everyone swinging around and looking at you. Right. I know this isn't going to work, is it?
Nope.
Okay, well, it doesn't matter.
restart it. Just teleport yourself
There you
somewhere,
go.
restart and go in. But yes, this is the other thing from last week. We had
I did it.
plan of how the Nexus was going to be re-arted into a fascinating new shape. And that fascinating new shape is here, and it's beautiful.
Fascinating. So yeah, there's the big wall, which is fine. Like, 'cause you can't get up there without wall run, which you don't have at the moment, and and that looks pretty inviting and interesting. So you're hopefully going to want to see that. It's still, I mean, God, it's the first art thing I've said in forever. It still feels like all the colors are very similar to everything around it. So maybe it needs a little nudge. But again, like, we're just mostly talking functionally. But that's the first time I've noticed that.
It is the midden. It can be a bit brown. It's thematically consistent. You don't need wall run there because that's a platform that's 4 tiles high.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll have to be 1 higher if that wants to be blocked by wall run, because you just jump and grab. But hey, easy to delete those platforms. So
It is.
But yeah, it's a bigger. It doesn't actually take up much space, but it feels like a much bigger space. There's specific housing now for those 2 lifts to go in. So we'll get those scripted up. I mean, it's mostly scripty stuff that needs to be sewn up for next week.
So is the deal that you still activate him up here or something, or is it
where the switch goes? Yes, probably there. It depends on how much we can draw your attention to it. Again, we'll need to experiment with POIs and all that good stuff. But yes, that would be the idea, is that you cross these. If not, we can just stick it there in between the 2 lifts, because we don't need to force the player to explore this place. The camera is going to pull in. It's going to feel nice and friendly. It's going to get framed with some whatever the sound, music, and Foley's doing in this area, and you're going to want to poke around and talk to people.
I can't resist it any longer.
Incentivize them anymore to move around this place. It's already chock full of Scooby snacks. Oh, they're pulling out on the lift there look quite cool by accident as well. So
it kind of works. Yeah, it's good. There's still one of the old tutorial things there. And then this presumably just goes right back up.
It's a lift.
No, I can't.
Yeah, so we need to do some custom stuff with these to say, by the way, they can already do 3 floors. They can do as many floors as we want, but it's getting them to talk to each other we still haven't done. And also the first stage where that lever can only be pulled once and go from the 0 floor to floor 1 in your case, and floor 2 in your case, and then forevermore you're only operated by each other's buttons. But yeah, that's them lifts. So cool. Next week is switches, vases, and lifts. Final TMs for the pre-Nexus. I have to find a name for that place because it's not Harris Room anymore, and it doesn't. It's pre-Nexus, which is a crap name. That's kind of it, I think. There's other things. Oh yeah, there's stuff to show off. I mean, for next week, I think that's probably it. The demo itself is nearly as complete as we want it to be. Just player controller, some tile maps.
Yeah. Do we want to show the thing though? Right? Surely we want to show the thing. Can we show the thing?
Do you want to show? I want you to show the thing.
I want to show the thing.
Got time to show the thing.
In fact, why not just go to
it's going to be on by default from now on.
It is.
I
Yeah.
think.
In fact, you know what? I'll just go play through it so he's messing about.
And we can talk about it lovingly.
We can. So, something we've wanted for a while because it's got a lot of gameplay things that we will demonstrate as well. Like it was going to, it's going to change a lot of stuff. Is having like something that occludes your view for areas you can't see. So obviously here, it's very tight. So just to set people's expectations correctly. Oh my god, I'm on the wrong screen. Oh my god, I'm a complete noob. It's like I've never done this before. I was so excited by it. There we go. No one saw that. So, this occlusion system, to set everyone's expectations, it is very early. There are obviously plenty of known issues, and the edges are all very harsh, but functionally, actually, it does a lot of what we need it to. Any sort of tight spaces are a great example. Like stuff like this is like, it's tasty. Because now, like, the whole point of a stealth game is it's trading information for like safety, right? So here, okay, I'm fairly safe, but I can't really see very much. And then as we start moving through the level, you'll see that obviously having height, is much more valuable than it was before because you can see all the space below. You can see things that are there. And Ed just says, yeah, that felt like an Aidan screen share moment. Aidan is notorious for having long conversations while
pointing wildly at things on my monitor with my mouse while no one can actually see what I'm pointing at.
Except this was even better because it was actually showing my face. So anyway, so there's obvious, like, I just want to point out a few of the issues because I'm mostly just going to say, oh, this is lovely. This is exactly what I wanted. Like these tiny little sharp ones, like it's at the edge of the stairs, they just feel weird. I mean, obviously they're technically correct, but they feel strange.
It's making those rails you're standing on look great, though. That's one of the interesting things is when you go further over to the right, because all of these look great. Like it really pops the surface that you're on, and that blue one over to the right. That's my special favorite. Go stand on it. It's great.
Yeah. It's very close.
Because that's that metally surface that you're on now isn't really any different to how it was before, but because now you've got the contrast between that and the darkened area, the places that we are lighting without doing anything to them, they just pop so much more.
Yes.
It's lovely to see.
So yeah, mostly it's fine. I think there's obvious things where we don't transition, very smoothly for things like that.
It's not neat yet.
It's not neat, but as you say, like it just adds like this extra dynamic level even to quite static areas like this. It's pretty cool. Come on, let's have a look around here. And stuff like this is cool, like when you pass over things like that. That's nice. Especially when the edges will be softer, like, because there could be something there that you didn't know about. Oops, that's happened sometimes.
Yeah, we're going to have to make some decisions about whether floating platforms block it.
This is the thing. There's certainly a few cases where I went, you know what, this platform's so small, this looks weird. And the sad thing is at the moment, because of we don't have the smooth transitions, but you can already see at the beginnings of like, this is going to be a cool reveal, right? Before it was nothing because you could see it when you were like here. And now, again, if you look past the bugs, you can see like, bam, a thing happens. So that's cool. And as I said, like, being at this height has, tremendous value because you're cutting huge gaps into your visibility. So it's cool. Right. But then, yes, it raises a lot of issues that we need to decide how to deal with. This is a textbook one. It's like now you can't see that switch anymore. I mean,
can't see the mushrooms though.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. So is that a language? Maybe. We need to consult some other games and think about it. Like if we ever
Well, that's done an interesting thing there, Chris, because we've talked about this before, where there's the idea that we, whether we do or don't show things through this, and we just got an ability to go, yeah, but put some mushrooms next to it and you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
So we can have both.
And stuff like this, for example, like, so you won't see this, and then, well, maybe you hear it, and then the sound rings show because you can't see it. That might be a way around it. Or you might have some items that are just always visible. I honestly don't know, and I will have to see what other games do because I've kind of forgotten. But the main thing is, to me, the sort of the broad strokes of the effect does exactly what I hoped it would. It just makes, like, even spaces where it's a little bit on the busy side, it's just quite nice. Like, there's a bit of, you know, dynamic movement in this. And yeah, you know, you've got more opportunities to surprise people with things.
And it's just the way it shades the surface of the side that you're on. You know, the undersides of the ceilings look great, or the backsides of rocks.
This is just the best. It's just the best. Like, it's just so good.
Having a good time with that.
Yeah, this is where it feels like the most correct. Like, if you just soften the edges on that, you know, fix a few bugs, it's done. No, I do like that a lot.
The air smelled of.
But yeah, it's amazing how it
water
completely
and
changes the
rain.
experience of moving through these spaces and how much you understand about the space you're in, and the visual change for not being passed. I mean, it's a 1.5 in terms of visual passing. It's
Definitely.
certainly not as coder ugly as it could be. It's not coder ugly at all.
No.
But with a bit of finessing,
So I only
smooth
wanted
as well.
to just
Very happy with this.
Yeah, it's just to show a little bit more because it's got some of those.
Because you love it too
platforms.
much.
No, I do love it. Like, this is clearly the best one. Like, it's just like, come on, like, this is just the best. Who doesn't love this? Anyway, I just wanted to get here because this, I remember, is the one platform where I'm like, yeah, okay, we probably need to think about what platforms do when he goes away. Come on, light that torch.
You know you want to more than anything
yeah,
in the world.
It's true. Well, actually, he does. They are prioritized. I don't want to test it now because there are other issues. But I think if he saw me, he's more interested in me. But hey, whatever.
But would he be more interested in seeing you even more clearly by lighting a torch?
Yeah, who knows? Sorry, there's just one more bit. Oh no! Oh my god, who made this stupid game?
Well done, Chris. You were almost there.
Almost
Nearly
there, and then I died.
I'm gonna show you the thing. It's going to be
And
great.
you know what? What a great time to finish because
Really?
No. I'm going to hop back up there, but I'm very upset. I'm not going to go up there by hand.
I was nearly incensed, Chris.
Nearly
You
outraged.
teased with something that was going to look bad. So
I know. That's what I do. I'm like, hey, do you want to see something that looks bad? That looks broken? Okay. No, it doesn't look broken, but it's just these 3-tile ones. It's like it feels weird. That's all I have to say right now. I'm not saying, oh, we should definitely remove it. It just feels a bit weird. Like that just feels a bit weird.
It introduces a kind of perspective effect into the screen, which once you see that as projecting into the screen, like a blank roadway, Chris.
Oh yeah, I hadn't seen that. And now I do. Oh no.
Yeah. Well,
So-
there you go. Welcome. Glad you showed me this, Chris.
No problem. Ed suggests that perhaps one tile thick platform should be a special case that don't do it. That's probably not a bad thing to try.
It's how we build up into them, though. Like
Exactly.
When we need to give them supports and stuff.
It's just one of those things. It's like I don't know what the answer is. I just know these ones stuck out as like.
I didn't
weird.
mind it. I didn't mind it so much. I'll be honest. I thought they were quite dramatic, but I'm just in love with this whole feature.
Yeah,
visually.
it's again. I need to understand exactly how it works. It just seems weird that. It just feels a bit weird. It just feels like I should be able to see under there, even though, of course, in the literal mathematical sense, of course I can't. But
yeah,
you know.
I don't think it's an any more serious edge case than the stuff that's going on above your head with those archways.
Yes.
Just
what
not
was it?
caring about anything. Let's go. Screw you. We're archways. We're lit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, actually, that is one other thing I want to show. That's when you get AI with it, because obviously they are not yet cold. Come on. I'm not going to miss that. And obviously, see that door as well. You don't see it closed
Don't
now.
see it. It's got to be slower then. It's got to be a gradual open. a big, noisy, point of interesty, rumbly, gradual open.
Yeah, this is my favorite one. Like, look at this. Like, it's like she's glow in the dark.
Hi, Hester.
Yeah.
I couldn't help but notice you there.
Yes. So, I mean, again, this is why this is helpful to chuck stuff in early, because that is obviously wrong. Ben was saying he thinks you can probably just depth sort it as a quick fix, because, and I think that will work.
It's interesting though, because it raises questions about how we approach this whole place. Because if you give us a more interesting view than standing right against a wall, like goes in the doorway,
yeah.
like how you're just not going to see her at all on the route in because of the way we've organized this, because we didn't have this. So we maybe want to raise you and lower her. So say if you were actually coming along the original route of doing the columns again, you would be totally clued in to
this
her
is the thing.
existence.
I think, like, I mean, this is why I kept asking for this thing, because these are the kind of things I was worried about. But I think it's fine for now. I think we can kind of work around it. But I agree. Like, yes, it makes you treat things differently, because visibility is more of a, well, it is a resource. It wasn't before. You always had everything. But hey, when you get here, still pretty.
So that's another thing we have to consider now when framing encounter rooms, which is fine.
Yes.
Because it's not like we were struggling to make good looking encounter rooms.
I love this guy as well. Yes, exactly. And again, if we position stuff correctly, obviously we've generated more contrast than we had before. So I think it's gonna be good.
Sandbox could hear a scratching noise in the
Calm
walls.
down. So I think that's everything for today. I think we covered everything, right?
I think we did. Yeah. So stuff for next week is I don't know. Is it last stream next week?
What day is it today? Oh my god. Yeah, there's probably one more. And then I'm off taking it out to playtest. So it's all relatively minor stuff. It's just that room you're working on to get to be finished. And when that's finished, then basically just I polish over some of the points of interest and stuff like that.
Bugs, features, and systems.
Yeah. So
we've got some stuff to show next week, hopefully.
Yeah. We sure do. I mean, it's quite a thing now.
Get a good zoomed in view of that new tile map at the top there, because you wandered around it a bit. No, the new one, the arted one.
I wasn't aware this was intentional.
The Nexus.
The midden Nexus, this one.
The new midden
Nexus.
One? That's the
let me just put it in the right mode before I upset certain artists. It's nice.
Yeah, not actually that much bigger.
No.
So,
yeah, nice. It's nice. It's gonna be good.
But yes, so next week we'll be expecting all of the sand monsters to die and have their vases properly placed, switches, etc. It'll be the delivery of that tile map, that ugly Whitebox tile map should die as well. Lot of death.
Yeah.
And all of the ports surrounding it into the midden nexus is already sewn up, I think. So then there's all that stuff to the left of the route below it that is joined up but not joined up properly. So there's a small art pass on that. And then everything else is player controller and anything else that you want in time, but it's more system stuff.
Yeah, I think we're basically there really, because also I've got to spend some time obviously planning exactly how we're running the test, but it should be good. Okay, yeah, I think we're good. So it sounds like, unless we got our dates wrong, I think this time next week is the last one of this series, and hopefully we have a good run through of what we've got. But yeah, I think we're good. So thank you very much for watching. If you've got any questions, please do fire them over to us either on Twitter or on the chat here, anywhere, and we always try and bring them up in the following stream. So thanks very much. See you later.
Bye.